Hello you wonderful people and welcome to another episode of the weekly Waypoint. Today we are playing Halo 2. The first game is Free For All Slayer, the second game is Team SWAT, both in Halo 2 because that's just the way the queue went, and I gotta admit, I might have to play the Halo 3 campaign soon because I'm feeling in a very Halo mood. Achievement Hunter put out a video where they were just playing multiplayer Halo, and I was watching it. I was like, man, I haven't played Halo in a hot second, and so I played some Halo, and this is not the only two matches I played in the last few days, and I realised I haven't really been playing any kind of a competitive multiplayer game lately, so that's probably the itch that is scratching. I'm also playing on a controller. I used to play this on mouse and keyboard, but ever since they added matchmaking based on controller input, or I guess just controls input, I don't know how you say that, I've been playing with controller because that means I'm playing against other people on controller, whether they're on Xbox or PC, and I feel like I mean, not to put, too obvious of a point on it, this is the way, at least the older Halos were meant to be played because they weren't designed for PC. And it's just more fun. I know it sounds sacrilegious when I've got a mouse and keyboard right in front of me to just want to play on a controller, but as far as Halo goes, I just find it more fun. The skill ceiling is kind of more leveled out, I would say. Like, when you're playing on mouse and keyboard, you can be really terrible or you can be really good, but I think when you're playing on controller, it's almost like it chops off the ends of both ends of that spectrum, and you're just kind of playing on an even playing field because of the auto aim assist and stuff like that. I certainly did marginally better than usual, so don't at me, I guess. But enough about Halo. Not today, but earlier this week, I lied, there was a Pokémon Presents. And if you know me, you know I like my Pokemon. In fact, I think Pokemon might be the game series that is enjoyed by the most amount of my friends. I went to uni, and almost everyone I knew there was way into Pokemon. I was like, this is great, I fucking love this. For some quick background, by the way, I enjoyed Sword and Shield. I'm not one of those people who thought, oh, the Dynamax thing. I get some of the criticisms Sword and Shield received, and I've definitely gone into all of this before in blog posts and probably old weekly waypoints too, but I really enjoyed Sword and Shield. Like, it's up there with some of the best Pokemon games I've ever played before, so that's the angle I'm kind of approaching this at. It's weird. I've noticed the larger a fan base for something gets, the more toxic it becomes. Like, look at Game of Thrones, look at Star Wars, or maybe not Game of Thrones so much, actually, because there was a lot of valid criticism in there. But look at Star Wars, and look look at that booty, first of all, on the screen. Sorry, I got distracted. Look at Star Wars, look at Pokemon, some of the biggest franchises in the world, and it's just full of people arguing about how bad the newer stuff is constantly. It doesn't actually matter about the quality of the good stuff. The fact that it's not giving them the same hit that they enjoyed when they were younger. I think that's kind of, I'm not speaking for everyone, but for a lot of people, they don't seem to recognise that the fact that it's not hitting the same way it did when they were younger isn't the franchise's problem necessarily. It's because they're at a different point in their life and they don't understand that they don't have to keep following the same franchise and they don't have to keep expecting the same thing from it, But that's an entirely different conversation for an entirely different time. I'm here to talk about what got announced. First of all, new Pokémon Snap, that was already announced, but we saw more about it, and I have some people that I know who are extremely excited about new Pokémon Snap because they played the original. I did not play the original, and I am worried that because I didn't, the gameplay isn't going to appeal to me, because it looks good, don't get me wrong, it looks good for what it is, but it doesn't look like the kind of game that I'd want to pay £50 for, because that's what Nintendo are inevitably going to charge for it, is £50. Maybe like £20 for like a game that I'm happy to sink maybe 5 hours into and then never again. But like a full £50 game, no, I don't think so. But I must admit, this latest trailer did kind of sell me on it a little bit more. I liked the idea of having a photo album that you kind of like get all perfectionist about and try and get 4 stars on every picture. And that kind of thing. But like, I don't know, like, just, it looks repetitive. It looks like obviously you can't walk around by yourself, so you're just going on the same tracks every time and then trying to photograph a Pokemon at different moments. It seems like the kind of gameplay that my really shit attention span would very quickly distract me away from, but hey, who knows. I'm really happy it exists for the people who really do want to play it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Twitter explosion of everyone's pictures. I just hope that there's more than 5 hours of gameplay, because if there is, then sure, sign me up, but I'm not so sure there's going to be. On to the meat of the presentation then. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I have opinions, and I'm going to try my best to explain them. Diamond and Pearl, first of all, are two Pokemon games. Well, Diamond, because I never played Pearl, because I'm not insane and I didn't buy the same game twice. Diamond's a game that's very close to my heart. It was the first Pokemon game I think I finished, because my first technical Pokemon game was Ruby. But I can't remember if Leaf Green or Diamond came first in my playing order. But I know I definitely properly got into Diamond and completed Diamond first out of those two games. And it's like, there's an aesthetic to the original game, which I'm not saying that they had to copy over, but let me just finish this thought first. There's an aesthetic to the original game in that it's kind of like 2.5D in a way. Like, I can't quite explain it. Anyone who's played it knows what I mean, but it's so chunky, and like the parallaxing on the buildings and the people as you're like running up and down the screen is really kind of unique, and the kind of like 3D pixelated look, or 2.5D pixelated look, it kind of gives the borders of the characters like almost a cell shaded design as well, and it's just really colourful and lovely, and I like it so much. I like it a lot. I love it so much. Those are the phrases that I got mixed up there. And the new art style for Brilliant Diamond is, I mean, it's growing on me. I've watched the trailer many times now to try and get it. I think I like the environments more than I initially did. And some of the characters look cool too, but some of them, and I can't put my I can't put my finger on what the difference is, but some of them look like really cheap little like Go-Go's, like Go-Go Crazy Bones figures. They look like they're made of cheap plastic, and I don't like how their proportions are like massive hands and feet and really spindly arms and legs. Like, that's okay to a point, but the like level of which it's disproportionate is kind of insane on those characters. And I don't like how Brendan looks, but I like the female character whose name I'm afraid I forget. Dawn? Is it Dawn you play as? I might just play as a female character because she's cute, but the guy, I think he looks weird. I'm running out of time here. So the other point I'll make very quickly is most of the time, in fact every time there's been a remake of a Pokemon game so far, it's utilised the old region in the new engine with the new graphics of the same game in that gen, the new mechanics of the same game in that gen, so in this case it would be Dynamaxing, and I was really hoping for that with Diamond and Pearl, but instead it looks like more of a one-to-one remake, in which case I kind of think I would just prefer a port, because if I prefer the original art style of the DS games, then if there's nothing else different, then why am I playing the new ones, you know? But maybe we'll learn more about the gameplay over time and I'll like it. Pokemon Legends Arceus is where the true hype train is, because it looks like Game Freak are trying to make Breath of the Wild Pokemon Edition. However, that's definitely not coming early 2022. They're lying to you, or they're lying to themselves more likely, because that gameplay looks so rough around the edges. Like, it looks like there's no anti-aliasing in the game yet, and like animations are playing at like super stilted frame rates in you know opposition to the actual game, which is also running at what looks like a sub 30 frame rate in some areas. So I'm extremely excited about the concept, and I strongly suspect that this actually started out as a traditional kind of remake style that they would normally do, like okay, so we do wild areas now, so we're going to try and make a full wild area game, which is what I've been speculating about for like the last couple of years, for Sinnoh. And then they kind of went a bit too far with it, and they were like, you know what, we kind of want to make this its own thing, so we're going to put a new team on remaking Diamond and Pearl in the meantime, and that might be a bit more minimal of a remake as a result, which again I'm kind of sad about, but I might just go and replay the originals if I don't like the look of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you know, they still exist. I've still got my 3DS, but yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus, oof, that's the dream. That's what I'm putting all my hope and faith in. It's such like a, when they said now for the future of a Pokemon series, I was like, wait, Gen 9? We're going to learn about Gen 9? And then when it wasn't Gen 9, I was like, oh, this is the right call. I think the Pokemon brand needs something to kind of spice things up a bit, and it can't just be a side mobile game, because nobody cares about Pokemon Cafe Mix, I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm lying, there's probably a dedicated community, and it might even be a good game, I know literally nothing about it, but there's definitely a lot of Pokemon side projects which people just don't really care about, so this Pokemon Legends stuff looks like they're really trying hard to make a new AAA mainline Pokemon experience. and just the idea that it's still set in Sinnoh, so I can go and find Turtwig and catch my precious boy, because he is the best, most precious boy of Gen 4, don't at me, is cool, and like, yeah, I really like the concept. So yeah, that was Pokemon Presents the Weekly Waypoint. Thank you for watching this episode, and I will see you next week. Oh, and I'm still obsessively playing the hell out of RuneScape.